Good morning, YouTube. Well, hey, I'm up for work on time, so better than last week. By the way, it is Sunday, December 3rd, 2023, 1:43 p.m. I would also say that I'm going to make it to work on time, but I think that requires me looking at Google traffic, which I haven't done yet. So let's do that right now before I get stuck in traffic. Looking it up on Obama Phone 5 since I'm using my iPhone 6S Plus right now to record, and Obama Phone 3 of course has no service, and I'm not going to receive any Wi-Fi sitting right here, I don't think. Wow, it's still popping up a "you are here" dot at Factor in Goodyear. It's not where I'm at. Have you figured out where I'm at yet? Somehow it's got a pin dropped at some weird coordinates. It's still convinced him, and oh no, it has me in the right place. It's just slowly loading the map. I wish there was some way for other people to see just how painfully slow this computer deals with everything. Okay. Traffic has loaded, map is loaded, and yeah, good to go all the way to work. I mean, generally speaking, Sunday is not a problem for traffic, but there's always that chance somebody in a great big truck, like the one I just passed, has decided that even though their lane is ending and the law says that they should yield while merging into the other lane adjacent to it, they don't want to do that. So Civic. I was trying to figure out what that was. They don't want to yield to the car in the lane adjacent to them, so they keep on pushing, and the car in the adjacent lane keeps on pushing because he's got the right of way and it's his right to do so, and they smack into each other, which causes them to bounce into another car, which causes the car that was tailgating that other car to rear end him, which causes the car that was tailgating that guy to rear end her, and so on and so forth, and that could happen pretty much any time on the 202 or the I-10. I want to make sure I wasn't heading into that. Also, I haven't really been keeping up with ADOT's construction schedule, so there was always this chance at the ramp that I needed to, well, that I want to take from Loop 202 to I-10 is closed. I mean, hey, maybe they're getting ready to expand that exit lane so it has two lanes instead of one. That way one lane is continuous flow to the 51 and one lane is continuous flow to I-10. I can always dream, right? So, yeah, I'm tired. I slept a lot better than I did this schedule last week. I sent Priscilla a couple of texts on the way home. Well, one on the way home, one when I got home. And no responses from her, but whatever. Hey, maybe she stayed the night with her boyfriend. Actually, I think the guy that gave her that bass guitar is no longer in her life. But bass guitar is still proudly on display in her living room, which kind of strikes a bad feeling within me every time I see it. That's not what I was going to talk about. In fact, I wasn't even going to shoot video on this, and I thought I should document that one notable thing happened today. And if this one notable thing doesn't resolve itself, then at least I recorded the date in which I noticed it, and that's that getting ready for work, I absolutely couldn't find my hat. Now, the last time I was missing my hat, I found it. I was on my way out the door with it. I just somehow got confused on my way out the door. Speaking of family, I don't hear from enough. I got a text from one of my sisters today. Kind of shocked the hell out of me. She sent me 3 pictures of what looked like a living room, just absolutely full of vinyl records. Vinyl records going up one wall on what appeared to be custom-made shelves, but at first glance kind of looked like IKEA. And then tables with boxes full of vinyl dominating the rest of the room. And she just texted and said that she saw that and it made her think of me, which is awesome. I texted her back. It's like, yeah, that's what my house would look like now. Danielle and I had stayed together. Hard to imagine what that house would look like. I do believe if we just stayed together, we'd still had it. Hell, I believe if she hadn't have been so hell-bent on destroying my life when we separated, I would still have it. Those are thoughts not worth putting too much energy in, because there's nothing I can do to change that situation in the past. All I can do is just keep looking forward with the present and trying to stop things sitting in my passenger seat from landing off the seat or landing on Obama Phone 3. Just caused me to unplug Obama Phone 3, which does not have enough juice on it right now. Sunday, December 3rd. I need to be aware of that date because I'm going to be writing 12-3 on every car that I write on. Actually, not every car. If there's already notes on the car and I'm just simply adding notes, then I don't put the date on it. I just put the additional notes. But I always put the date if I'm writing on a window that hasn't been written on yet. I also will put the date most of the time if I'm writing on a window and it has a really minimal note of what is wrong and I'm adding to it, and the person who put the minimal note did not put the date on it, and it's reasonable to assume that those notes are written today. There's legitimately a logic behind everything that I do, which has me constantly observing why a lot of people do the things they do and wondering what the logic is behind it. And I've noticed that when I've actually got curious enough to ask whoever, whatever their logic was behind doing what they did, they generally can't answer that. In fact, their brains seem to explode from the question. One that I really wanted to ask last night on my second stint of working on a fulfillment line at Factor. My first stint on the line, I was doing box liners, and I love doing box liners. I'm crazy fast at doing box liners. It's become just sort of a comfort space for me. When they first put me on box liners last week, I was a little hesitant about it. And it wasn't until I kind of started to get my groove back that it was like, oh yeah, I did this at HelloFresh. Same boxes, same liners, different contents. But I'm doing the same job, and damn, I like that. I was all about getting back in there when the shift started yesterday, even though I was going to be starting with the guy that I like to call Shit Break. I found out yesterday his name is actually Chris, because that's what I need, another person with the name of Chris to try to remember. I have added so many Chris's to my life in the last few months. I couldn't even count, but put Shit Break on the list. Who, by the way, took a shit break 30 minutes into the shift. Mind you, we don't really start working till about 15 minutes into the shift. And he was gone on his shit break for about 15 minutes. So work 15 minutes, disappear for 15 minutes. And unless you're having digestive issues, I'm kind of bothered by anybody that takes a bathroom break that quick into the shift. Like, dude, didn't your mom tell you need to pee before we get in the car? Hey, before we start doing this, do you need to pee? You need to go pee. Yeah, I don't think the guy's going to pee. I think he's getting high. Anyway, I hope I find my hat. I'm gonna be very sad if I don't find my hat. I have no idea where it is. Well, I'm here. Another exciting day at Hertz. 2:01 p.m. right now, and I clocked in at 1:59. Actually, passed the time clock at 1:58. Could have clocked in at 1:58. Seems really weird being here, like clocking in before the beginning of my shift, since I'm pretty much always 15 minutes late. Wow, I just started this minivan and the wipers came on. Pretty normal for here. I'm in kind of a Buick minivan crossover thing. You'd think by now I know what this model's called, but I don't. Making sure that I got the print slip and the keys. This thing could be in a way better position than this. Yes, other drivers are just in and moving. Could be said this is wasting time, but I'm a million times more comfortable when everything's in the right position. And that's the sort of thing that I think causes me to be a safer driver. Also, there was an up-down crew that was kind of rolling out in front of me, and I didn't want to be mixed up in that. So the only name I saw on the handwritten timesheet is Kali. So there's a possibility that Andre is not here. The only drivers I would normally expect to be here with me on a Saturday is Andre and Kali. It's not Saturday, it's Sunday. And I think I just saw Andre off to my left. Oh shit.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. Don't call me Shirley.
Wow, I just noticed a problem that I've never noticed before, and I'm really glad that the customer figured it out. When the road is blocked here, and what I call the road is the lanes that go out and around the outside perimeter, or I should say edge. It's not outside it, it's inside, but around the outside edge of the inside of the rental car center. Oh, it's GM. Of course, it's going to be already on auto. When oh, there goes Davey. Glad she didn't see me standing here holding a cell phone like that. That would have been awkward. Anyway, as they come out, the exit signs sort of direct them to use that road. And if somebody came out of that lane, and mind you, there's all kinds of exit signs showing different directions to go, because there's multiple ways to get to the exit. And fortunately, they followed this sign, which I was not 100% sure was here. It says to go left, to go to the exit, and got confirmation with that sign saying that that's the way to the exit, which is a good thing, because if they weren't seeing that sign and were seeing this sign, which hopefully I'm getting video of because the backlighting is so bright with the sun out there, this sign says exit, but with all the cars parked in the road, I'm not sure if one can get through that way to the exit. And while from here on there's stalls painted on each side of what I like to call the road, and you see there's exit signs above it pointing out, that area is probably not drivable right now. Occasionally the stalls on the left side of the road are used as stalls, but the ones on the outside of the road, I've never, ever seen them used as stalls. And I've asked about it. And somebody said that when they first started working here, like, you know, a couple of years ago or some shit like that, that they used to, but they don't anymore. Anyway, I need to get my ass to work. There's enough return cars. I think I'm just going to start walking through them and try to find a maintenance car as opposed to going to the wall, where I can't recall if there was a maintenance car or not. I think there was like one or two, and I thought I saw Andre over there grabbing one. But I always prefer to kind of get started pulling some Well, whenever possible, pull maintenance cars out of lines. Okay, that's just an electric with 93% on the battery. There's Rex over there checking a couple in with their rental car. I'm not sure where Rex is from. I can't really place his accent, but he's a cool guy, and apparently he's worked there a long time. And the notes that he leaves on the windows regarding maintenance issues are always really well done and very thorough. So definitely appreciate Rex. 90%. A little X just means it's been checked in. And a battery percentage on an electric car also just means it's been checked in. It's an electric dirty versus a gas dirty. Which is not what I'm handling at all today. I'm maintenance. I'm looking for maintenance vehicles. I can't believe I haven't seen any yet. It's unusual for me to walk past this many parked return cars and not see one with maintenance on it. I'm kind of walking around the edge and then around the back because obviously if they're in the middle, I should shut this door. Actually, I should make sure that the keys are in it before I shut the door. All right, and they are. Before I create a situation where the car is... Oh, GMs do that. Before I create a situation where the car is locked with no keys in it, because it's always better open with no keys in it. That's Shelby. I'm not moved to Shelby's. Those planes can be really loud on a busy day at the airport. All right, 19% battery on this electric thing. What is that? It's a Volvo. I can't believe I've walked past this many cars and not seen a maintenance car. I always walk down to one side and then around the back end. Because obviously if they're in the middle, I'm not going to be able to get them out without maneuvering a ridiculous amount of cars, and that's kind of a waste of time. And the cars coming up on the right that are facing the wrong direction. I'm curious what's up with that. Apparently this is the window chip crew working on them. Wow, I'm surprised the window chip crew would be working on that. That looks bad enough. I would think it needs a new windshield. But apparently they think they can fix it. Yeah, the shitty thing is I don't see the window chip crew up here. So I'm wondering if these guys left their work here. Is that just chip? Chip windshield glass with arrows pointing at oil change. Okay, my guess on this is that the oil change people kicked it out to glass when it needed to go to oil change next, but there's just a reminder and an orange hat to let me know that if it gets kicked out of glass, because the glass is done, it needs to go for red. So yeah, this looks like these are all queued up windshield chip fixes, and they usually do their work up here, but I don't see them here. And they're not usually here on Sunday, so what the hell are all these cars doing up here? My gut feeling is that they left those here on some other day when they weren't supposed to leave those here, and it's going to end up being my job to take them all down where they go. Not complaining. It's work. I like having work. Just noting that those GM cars shouldn't be there if the crew's not up here working on them. And this is the second time I can think of that they've done that to me. And by they, I mean the windshield chip crew. And they're subcontractors, by the way, and they're not subcontractors through MLS. They're independent contractors. It's a company that does that kind of repair that got the contract to do it here. Regularly leaving cars where they're not supposed to be leaving cars is a good way to lose that kind of a contract when you're creating additional work. Because it's billed by other people. Because there's always a possibility that they maybe got permission to do it. So close that. It's got a button. Wow, and there are no cars in the maintenance line. When I was seeing other cars, what I was seeing is the windshield chip cars. There goes up, down, crew. I can't believe I'm not finding a maintenance car in all this. Low tire on. Hey, I found one. Can I make it through that little space to get it out? I can, I think. Once I back this Equinox up. What kind of goodies we got in here? It smells like stale McDonald's, because stale McDonald's. Wow. Some kind of silly certificates left in here. Certificate of Graduation, Class of 2023, presented to blank, blank, blank. This certifies completion of training to become an honorary elf on behalf of the professions of Elf University and Santa Claus himself, and you are hereby awarded this. I think I'd get fired if I gave one of these to little Anthony. I'm taking those. Those are hysterical. Got here. And AZ, Scottsdale Resort and Bungalows. At the guest name, parking claim check. Somebody's staying in a nice ass resort. At least something that sounds like a nice ass resort. I've never heard of that one. Ooh, I do not have a whole lot of backwards I can go with this. I got enough it should make the difference I need to get that other one out though. Alright, I am really close to that Jeep that's behind me. Which I can tell because of the backup camera. I have actually kind of warmed up to using the backup camera just for that. I mean, mind you, I turn around and look with my eyes before I back up, as opposed to like a lot of young drivers do these days. And just assuming that if I don't see it in the backup camera, it's nothing I need to worry about. I think my daughter got into an accident doing that one time as a teenager. I got a lot of mixed feelings and a lot of modern safety features that revolve around things like that, where I feel the unintended consequence of a feature that, wow, Chevy Malibu with a sunroof and a moonroof and a, I don't know how I open and close that. I don't just pull it. There's obviously buttons for it. That looks like it's electric and probably opens across the middle. Ah, it's neat. I think these are the controls here. Aha, that closes that. And opens that. I think this one opens and closes the window. Ah, it opens like that. I was almost thinking maybe that piece went back and that piece went forward. Let's live dangerously. Let's open the window. Let some air in from the top. My red CRX has that feature and I love it. At least I did when it worked reliably. The mood is right. The spirit's up. Christmas music. It's December. I'll allow it. Plus it's Sir Paul. What's not to love, right? Other than the songs are really repetitive. Never noticed how repetitive it was until the first time I sang it for karaoke. And I'm like, I'm just repeating the same lyrics over and over and over for 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Damn. Can we turn the 4 minutes into 3 minutes? All right, somebody moved a maintenance car to the maintenance line while I was fooling around with the sunroof. I think. Yeah, that's an F-stop. Looks like I got up-downs coming from the left, so I'm just going to yield to them.
Channel devoted to even more Yuletide guitars like that. Discover the Rockin' Christmas Channel.
Yeah, I'll not be listening to that, thank you. Oh man, that reminds me. It's been going on for quite a few days now. they've got free XM service on any XM radio. You don't have to have a subscription, just power up your radio, which I haven't heard of them doing in ages. And God, today's the 3rd, and I think tomorrow the 4th is the last day of it. So yeah, I've been wanting to go dig up my XM tuner, and I absolutely can't remember where it is, and somehow I don't think I'm going to get that done by the 4th in time to enjoy it. Damn it. I still need to dig that up. That way the next time it happens, because I'll hear about it when it happens, as I'm driving these cars with XM radio all the time. And that way the next time it happens, all I gotta do is just turn the thing on, it'll already be in the stereo. So I did bring one car down, if I recall, and put it on a charger on a maintenance car. Put on an electric charger on Thursday. Generally speaking, I don't do that on Thursdays. But this particular car was returned to the Hertz office as allegedly not charging. They needed to exchange it for another car because it wasn't charging. And it was a Tesla Model Y, which takes considerably longer to charge than most electric vehicles because there's Andre. It takes longer because it has more, it holds a lot more. And they had the battery low to the point that you are charged a surcharge for returning it. And apparently they still had more rental, and I think that was their way of just getting another car with a full charge versus dealing with the cost and time involved of charging a Model Y. That was just my suspicions when I saw the car. So rather than have the thing sit in a maintenance line for a non-existent problem that was made up by the renter to functionally defraud Hertz, I put it on a charger. I put it on a charger to see if there was any issue with it charging, if it really indeed would not charge. And I had no problem starting the charging cycle. And unfortunately I was with Steve, so I was never able to get back to the car and see if it continued charging. So I don't see any cars with hats on it. I'm worried I didn't put a hat on it, but I do see a Model Y right in front of me, so I think I'm going to get out and check that. I'll feel really bad if that thing's been sitting on the charger all weekend because nobody else knew about it.